Humorous Podcast.
Welcome, beautiful listener, to the Humorous Podcast. After a long hiatus, we are back with Hammer and Steph. Hello, Steph.
Hello, Hammer. Guess what?
No,
This is episode 51.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, we're getting up
We've
there.
been going. That's an impressive feat. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that. And speaking of feet, though not exactly the same meaning
Foot
of
lettuce?
the word. Yeah, foot lettuce. The funny thing is, though, after all the episodes we've made, the one that just completely struck it out of the park was the one where we're just like, you know what? Trump's platform was bombarded by Sonic porn. Hashtag Sonic feet. You know, I just find that kind of ironic.
Well, yeah, but it did have Trump in it, so that's
True.
Always a good way to clickbait people.
Yeah, I still thought it was a pretty funny story, regardless of who it's about.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And it led to the discovery of the art piece of the century, which was the Dr. Eggman picture.
I have it in my mind.
Yeah, with-
Picture it every day.
like, you know, whenever I don't know if we actually described that picture ever, but it was literally just Dr. Eggman, pretty well written, drawn as well. Fucking
Yeah, it was high quality.
yeah.
It was
But-
high
but-
effort.
But like 70% of his body mass was a gigantic penis, and he had like testicles tucked so tightly and so huge that they looked like they literally became his butt cheeks.
Yeah, and it's like in order to preserve his round shape, the dick is like strapped in his trousers really tightly, and it's trying to fucking escape that from there, but it's so close to his body as well.
It's some of the most atrocious, but also like ridiculously, ironically high quality things I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that was good. That actually gave me a little bit of faith back in humanity.
Yeah, but maybe not in the right way. And and that sets us up perfectly for the headline I'm just gonna slap you on top of the head with.
Please do.
Yeah, because I don't know too much about this case. I just quickly read the article about it. So, but do you remember Chris Chan?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch the news about her?
Yes, well, I did see the documentary on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you
Is it-
saw that one,
The recent one, or?
yeah, very recent one. It was probably released because of the recent crazy developments
Yeah.
in that situation. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you knew about it already. That's cool. For those who don't know, the YouTube person, very controversial YouTube personality, Chris Chan, also known as Sonichu, was actually charged with incest.
Yeah. And rape, I believe.
Yeah. Sexual
Incestuous
assault and
rape.
incest. Yeah, incestual assault. It's kind of almost a poetic end to
Yeah.
that very controversial and very messed up story.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen the documentary, I mean, it's just such a sad situation overall. I feel that a lot of people don't understand or don't see things like I see them. I see them very mechanically and very reductionist. And not to say that it's not complex, but like this guy or gal has been really, sexually deprived of any input from a partner. And just been isolated with his mother for such a long time, and all that mental health issues and all that bullying from the online community. It breaks a person, and it enables ridiculous actions that are not good. So I feel that it's not a surprise that such extreme actions come from a person that has been through so many negative trials.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation.
It's very sad, but also very fascinating.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because like all these kind of extreme cases of like mental health related issues and whatnot, there's so many so many things that go on, and so many surprising situations, and there's literally no limit to what a human being can do at this point.
No, and I feel that there's like a growing interest in, especially the YouTube community, to explore. I would hesitate to say like out, but explore some of the more public, internety available cases where people, because people with mental health issues post to YouTube as well, and post to forums and expose themselves, and people flock to that and want to understand, and some people just want to jeer and look and point. Others are more interested in like how diverse and crazy the human repertoire of psyches are.
Yeah, and especially with such a platform as YouTube, where absolutely everybody is represented.
Yeah,
it also brings to fruition, obviously, there's gonna be a lot of different diagnoses and cases as well that become apparent, and there's always something about humans that we always like gossip, always like to be the fly on the wall. These things are exciting to humans. I guess I'm no different, and that's why all those gossip magazines work. And just look at fucking Se and Hør in Norway, and some of those atrocious See and Hear, yeah, that's what it translates to. One of the gossip magazines in Norway. Atrocious fucking garbage, articles and all that, but still people buy it like mincemeat. It's just, for me, working at a retail store, I see how many people buy that shit, and I see how many stacks of that fucking garbage that we get in every week, and most of it sell, and I'm just like, all right, well, and this. It becomes the same with the YouTube personalities, right? And
that's kind of our generation for that. It's the See and Hear for us. Basically, my impression of printed media is that it is on its way out, but like maybe like gossip magazines still have a fighting chance. I don't know.
At least as long as the current, let's say, the current 45 to 50 plus age demographic, as long as they are still capable of reading, I think it's gonna at least
they are the stable base of the gossip magazine.
Yeah, they are, but it's so it becomes with YouTube and social media and all that, when everything becomes like living in a glass house for influencers. It just kind of takes that kind of culture and put it on roids.
Yeah. I get you.
It's crazy.
I mean, and the lengths you can go to, like Sonichu and Chris Chan, that whole debacle. You can really, people, they've saved fucking forum posts and like small tidbits from back in 2009 and stuff like that. It's crazy how much they focus in on stuff like this.
Yeah, and I was surprised when I just read the article on Insider, when it tells about like those representatives from the wiki page of Chris Chan that actually they stalk him and stuff, and they show up in the court hearings, and they almost take pride in being like that, being the observers and just kind of reporting back to the web pages about him and stuff. I'm just like, I mean, sure,
it is absolutely like unhealthy behavior, I feel. What should be done is some kind of public service should pick up on this, and I don't know, put him in like an institution where he can develop and explore and socialize. It should be not live with his mother, isolated, bullied online for however many years, and develop sexual anxieties and deviancies. But you and I both know sexual drive, the sexual base drive in humans is very strong, and I mean, it can vary from individual to individual, just like testosterone levels and whatever other genetic parameter. So I don't know how it might be to be like a person with an insane sexual drive.
Yeah.
And just like imagine combine that with a light autism and, you know, just being isolated and bullied. You know, it's a fucking magical concoction.
It is, and the other thing is that even as someone that's like quote unquote healthy individual mentally, relatively, you know how, let's say if you've been on a dry spell for a while, right?
Yeah.
And if you have regular masturbation habits, let's say like, you know, even in the normal range, as the dry spell develops, obviously you get desensitized to normal porn, right? And then you kind of over time, as that dry spell goes longer, then also like your tastes develop as well, right?
Yeah, and become more and more, you know, you need to go further and further to achieve that certain sexual satisfaction.
Yeah, and like if you, that's, you know, sometimes that's when you get to that shameful kind of porn. All right, well,
yeah,
you know,
like the post-nut shame when you're like, oh my god, did I really just when you get back to, I mean, there are actually studies made on sexual, especially I think it's on men, that have tracked sexual activity in men and degrees of success in society. And if you're less sexually active, you're more successful in society.
Really?
Yeah, somehow. And I think that the reason is that if you get sex a lot, then you're more content. So
right,
you don't really kind of push yourself to achieve. Obviously, you do, but you feel more satisfied with the situation. And I mean, let's say you're making all right amount of money and you have a nice girlfriend and you have a good relationship,
which it kind of makes it a little bit like, I don't know if I want to say depressing, but it's kind of when you realize how true the statement that, you know, everything is about sex except sex because that's about power. And like it's just ridiculous how much of our ambitions and like all of it, if you look really closely and you do deep dive into every kind of sort of drive, it always revolves around, but I could actually
getting
get a
the
little
women.
bit. I get, if I do this and I succeed in it, then sure, I can help people and stuff like that, but also I'll be perceived better. And by extension, eventually it revolves around having a higher status in the hierarchy, which also kind of subconsciously mean better access to women and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. And a lot of like spiritual thinkers and stuff have kind of tried to conceptualize ways of thinking that are that kind of breaks you out of that, because like you said, absolutely everything revolves around that in some capacity.
Like,
in some capacity. It's not like if I make a lot of money, I can buy a large, nice house. I'm gonna enjoy living in that house, but the reason to have like a larger apartment or whatever is to, you know, attract a partner, which you can have a family in that apartment, or just attract girls if that's your thing, just to sleep with them and not follow up. But you know what I mean. And like with cars and stuff, everything like accessories, everything is status symbols. Yeah, and I mean it's only to show your potential partner, not exclusive to girls, of course, but I mean,
of course. I mean, whatever.
How successful you are, you know, how much of a good investment of time you will be to them, and like you said, it's very. But is it surprising? No, because the way that we and all other organisms survive is to reproduce, and that's why. Everything is about reproduction, right?
In the end,
and and essentially.
And I'm sure, of course, we are sort of talking out of our asses here, but we're
it's all hearsay.
Yeah, it's all hearsay. But you know, it is still. The more you think about it, the more it sounds plausible. And you know, of course, have been studies about this, and there are, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's not completely baseless, but the more you think about it, the more kind of like, I don't know. Sure, sex is great and all that, and I'm sure that, and it's good to have that as sort of like a drive to get the status and stuff like that. If you can also use that to help people and whatnot, it's good. I don't really judge that at all. I think that's fine, but the fact that most of these things actually revolve around it makes it a little bit like, fucking A. In the end, we're all just fucking monkeys after all. It's just
but that I at least feel that that's true, that we are, you know, advanced monkeys, basically.
Yeah, we really are advanced monkeys. Monkey brain. And this is also why I had like a fun conversation with Morbid M. We've actually talked a lot about these things lately about like the chimp brain phenomenon and all that. When the monkey steps into the forefront of your cognition. Yeah. And he brought up an example because he's become very fond of trying to observe this, especially in very hierarchy dominated places such as the gym. Yeah. And there it's like it's worn so much on the sleeve of people, like how much with all the people posing in front of the mirror, getting the right lighting, and then giving positive reinforcement to each other constantly about looks and stuff. And then you also have those that are there to impress the potential, what they see as potential partners. And Morbid M told me about, like, you know what, there's nothing that says chimp brain and that tells me that we're no more than monkeys, more than last time he went to the gym, when he was like, you know, doing his normal sets and whatever, and there were these two guys, maybe like very early 20s, and they had been going to the gym fairly regularly for a while. This was like at his university gym. And you know, they were a little bit loud and a little bit like annoying, but not nothing too bad. And they were mostly taking turns sitting on their phone while also doing some sets here and there, but they didn't really take it that serious. But then enter some perceived attractive females, and they arrive in there, and they have no relation to each other. They don't know each other, and there's an arm wrestling table in this gym. And what is more? I mean, what could be more attractive to attractive females than seeing some guys doing a strength competition amongst each other, huh? Yeah. Just like the chimpanzees do. It's got to work for humans as well. So they hopped on over when they saw that the girls were in there. They stopped whatever they were doing, and suddenly they were like, "Oh shit, you know, we gotta pump up and shit." So they went over and like started aggressively arm wrestling each other in front of them, and it was just And Em was sitting there like, "Wow, am I at a zoo? This is it doesn't get more
chimp-like." No. Yeah. I mean, but it's like but there are 1,000 like smaller examples of that in the gym. I mean, me frequenting gyms for almost my entire life, I've observed a lot of like tropes that go on. Yeah. For instance, like when other guys feel a little bit threatened by you, or at least feel that they are like on par with you in terms of like weights and reps and stuff, and like looks, you can kind of see that they broaden their shoulders. They automatically assume a more masculine pose, a more like voluminous pose. You know what I mean? And like trot about a little bit more aggressively, because they acknowledge you to be like a competitor on their level. And you can also see that the guys that are not as well or as large as you or whatever feel a little bit like more submissive, and they don't care about you as much. They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna do my thing, I'm not gonna look at you. But then you have that phenomenon where you're like a little bit on par with the guy, and you can see that like he becomes your competitor for this session. You know what I'm talking about? And he's like pushing himself and you're pushing yourself like, yeah, I'm gonna do one more rep and one more to show this fucker.
Yeah, and then like all the side eyes being like, how much weight is he doing though? Oh man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Is he stronger than me?
And then you're like, oh, he's doing more weights, but only 5 reps. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Like,
and then in the end, you think, what are you doing this for? And like the subconscious is actually doing this because you want to be more attracted to females. But the irony is because it's like, all right, let's say you become high ranking in the gym, that gym world or that gym hierarchy, and let's say you're pretty strong, and then people are starting to like notice that and stuff, and you have established that position. What actually happens is that guys will come over and be like, oh man, like, you're looking pretty good these days, you're looking pretty strong there. And it's like, you never see a girl come over and be like, wow, your bicep caught my eye.
Yeah,
like that.
Girls are not attracted to muscles. Like me, having worked out for almost my entire life, and especially like during my high school days, I was really fit and like fit in a weightlifting capacity, because that's all I did basically for working out. And I can confirm that girls are not attracted to muscles. Basically, almost not. I mean, they do kind of respect the hard work, and like, you know, they feel a little bit I don't know, more, they can kind of feel the masculinity maybe, but in general, girls like guys who are confident and cool and just being themselves.
Yeah, and I think sure there are everybody has body preferences and stuff like that, so of course there are girls that are gonna like muscles and are more muscular built than a guy, but it's not necessarily gonna mean shit unless you actually appear attractive, or like you carry yourself in a manner that is attractive.
Yeah, and it's not gonna bring in the masses, which is like, it's the thing that guys always kind of seek, you know, to be attractive to the large majority of girls. But I think that like the thing with working out is that you increase your self-esteem, which is attractive.
Yeah, and in theory, you can look like absolute hot garbage as long as you have like complete confidence in yourself for whatever reason.
And have like capabilities in terms of mastering a life, I would say.
At least in terms of like, if you feel like you've mastered the way of life that you want, so you have that kind of like that what do you call it? If you are content and you are also if you feel secure about yourself and you feel that you are very comfortable in your own skin, and you like, these things will actually appear attractive, especially I mean, sure, if you have like absolutely no life and are confident about yourself, even so, maybe it's going to be hard to keep a relationship, but the way you carry yourself is still going to appear attractive.
Yeah, the initial attraction will be there for that situation, I feel. Yeah, just listen to us experts in dating, guys. Just follow these tips.
Yeah, exactly. No, but of course, obviously, we're not experts. It's purely based on life experience and some things we've read and seen here and there. So obviously, we can't really...
Perks of being old.
Perks of being old, yeah. Because we've all been on that grind and seen, like, we've done self-improvement to varying degrees for a while, right?
Oh yeah, and like back to the gym and like tropes in the gym.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that if there are very few girls that day, that you always kind of you kind of hone in on the hottest girl, and you kind of focus on her, or that's kind of who you perceive in the background. And if regardless of whether she's hot or not, if she is the hottest, you know, in the gym, that she can be like 50 years old. If she's like the hottest, then all the guys will like direct their attention subconsciously towards that individual. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, like the as long as she's there and she is the hottest in that social sphere.
Yeah,
at that moment in time, she is gonna get that value, or like that attraction value for the guys. I wonder if that's a guy only thing. I think it is, because it sounds so stupid that it's got to be a guy thing, right?
Yeah, I think girls are more selective, maybe with their kind of crushes, the gym crush.
I mean, ultimately, they are the ones that select the mates, right?
Yeah. So they're more like, okay, I like this guy. I've seen him around so and so many times, and I think he's hot. Then that's who I'm gonna like focus in on. But guys are more like, okay, now there's a new hottest one. She just walked in, give her the focus. And then if there's an even hotter one, or maybe like couple of friends, something like that, then they will get the attention. And they will get the poses and all that good jazz that girls do like so much. I've had
like just stories from the gym, man. It's like, I'm sure both of us have at least a million each about like weird shit we've seen in the gym.
Yeah.
And there was this
from this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or being a regular gym resident, you see a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, come on, share. What did you see? I'm really excited to hear this.
Oh no, I don't have any specific. I can try to read my memory.
No, I thought you meant that you had a story from this week.
No, just probably.
Well, I can tell you a story that I remember that was really whack.
Sure.
In the meantime. Because when I was at university in Japan, there was this like, we of course had a school gym and stuff, and this is not so much this is not really about like attraction hierarchy kind of thing. It's just people taking too much space, which is a huge pet peeve of mine. And it also and this time it put me in a very awkward situation. So
that's because you're Norwegian and stuff. We like to have that. Yeah, we like to have that polite. Like, everybody's got their personal space. You need to respect that. You can't come into people's faces. I'm using this machine now. You use your machine. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but you're probably right. I think it's a cultural thing as well. And I thought that the Japanese would be also similar.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the masculine, like the really like macho culture in Japanese society is, especially within sports and athletic pursuits, that field has some of the most like, ready for some chromosomes by bromosomes kind of culture going on.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was that I was standing there. You had the place with the benches and the free weights, right? And in front of it was like the wall was covered in mirrors, and then you had, of course, the racks with the dumbbells and whatnot. And then these were all positioned on a place where there was these shock absorbing mats. And then just behind that, now we're approaching like the middle of the room, then you had some other like the zigzag bar and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
So I was standing there by the zigzag bar, and I could look across to the mirror to just check my form, because my shoulder is a little bit whack, so I have to adjust all the time if I do bicep curl and stuff to make the form symmetrical, so to speak. So I was looking at that, and I was looking at myself in the mirror across, and in front of me were all these benches. And so this girl comes in, and she is in one of those, because Japan, the school system has like all these clubs and stuff that you've seen in animes. All you weebs know what I'm talking about, right? Right, man of culture, unite. You know what I'm talking about. So you have these, but there was a modeling circle, and there was this girl from there, and she came in, and she was gonna do some kind of, I think she was doing some yoga or something, some stretches, some you know, I don't know what they do. It doesn't look very effective. But
No.
but the thing is I was just standing there minding my own business, focusing on myself in the mirror, which also sounds kind of stupid, but you know, for the form. So she grabs, and there's not a lot of people in the gym, and all the benches are free, pretty much, and there's like 7 of them or 8. She picks the one in front of me, and then she picks another one as well. So she grabs 2 benches just to do this kind of thing where she has like one knee and one hand on each bench and doing some kind of like, you know,
I know what kind of exercise that is. Yeah,
doing that exercise where you look like a dog peeing, you know, you lift your leg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, yoga or whatever it was, but anyway, so she's doing all these things in tights, mind you, like super tights, as is common now.
Yeah.
And she does all of this ass towards me, literally like 1 meter in front of me. She has all that space, and she had to fucking go in front of me as I'm standing there doing my bicep curls. And she starts doing all these fucking stretches and shit, and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to place my eyes right now? Because I stood here first. I didn't position myself here to be a creep.
No.
But now you come in and take up so much space in front of me, like, fucking A. Can you please have a little bit consideration for people around you?
Yeah, but I feel that you shouldn't have like a bad conscience about looking. Then you should just embrace it. Just try to, you know, use it to get your testosterone up and do more reps. You got to play the game, Steph. You can't be passive here.
I gotta tell them, what's this thing rising in my body? Oh, my testosterone? Gotta get those 5 extra rubbers, go! Yeah, but
it's like testosterone evolved to Stephosaurus. No, but yeah, dude, that's basically a free pass. If she does that, then you know she can't complain if your eyes once in a while just dip down and check out the
Okay, sure. I can I'll never ever always be very careful about saying that something is a free pass when it comes to those things. Personally,
no.
But I know what you mean though. But here's the thing. Sure, I don't think she would notice if I did that, and I'm a red-blooded male, so of course I probably would. I mean, you can't when it's right in 1 meter in front of you doing all these crazy shit, and you're already standing there. It's kind of like hard not to see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But the problem is, what about the other people that came in later, seeing me standing there doing bicep curls, literally 1 meter behind this chick, doing all these elaborate stretches and shit? Like, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I understand, man. But just fucking don't care about them. Just that it's not a regular occurrence. If you were stalking her, like, or going following her around the gym, that would be creepy. But that one instance could be just coincidence, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it most likely was a coincidence, but it's just like, I don't know. When I try to, I'm gonna be like the gym social justice warrior here, right?
Yeah.
So, no, but like whenever I'm gonna do an exercise or something in the gym, I try to look around to see, like, all right, is there enough space here? Am I, you know, I try to find a place where I can do it without, you know, fucking.
But that's the Norwegian in you. That's the Norwegian in you. I mean, I feel I'm exactly like that. You want that at least 2 meter diameter circumference, like, shield around you where nobody approaches you. And you want that. You just seek the weights and machines that are not occupied.
So of course in the end what I did was I just like went approximately 2 meters to the side and just stood there instead, so I could just have a free pass, because there's no way ever I want to be associated or be known as the guy's like, oh, look at that fucking creep, like just staring right up her anus. I'm like,
look at that huge creep guy. He's fucking the largest guy here, and he's always staring at asses.
You're just looking at it right now, Exhibit A. He's like fucking, he's close enough to study her colon.
But I think, I mean, that situation you're describing. You don't need to fucking, you know, really stare straight into the sun. But I feel that the point is here that if your eyes strafe now and then areas that are sensitive to, that girls feel are exposed, I mean, you have a right to have a vision. You have an ocular right to have your eyes open and use them to navigate the world, I feel. So, and like you described to me, we're very gentlemanlike and trying not to be, creepy and ocularly offensive. So I feel that should be a pass. Even that should be like human rights level stuff. You should be able to just be a human and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, I think that overall the situation didn't become a situation. It wasn't really anything bad because I reacted pretty fast to it because I was like, is she really? It was just so annoying how out of all the places she had to just pick the one spot where there was one more guy standing facing the exact way that she's gonna expose her buttocks to. And it's just like, why there? Just see that there's a guy there. Would it cost you that much to see that there's someone already there, and that you're wearing revealing stuff, and doing all these stretches? Why not just move 1 meter to the side even, and it will be safe? But instead,
but you're also assuming that she does not want it. People are exhibitionists.
True.
They sometimes like to be watched. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a possibility, but I don't want to give her that sort of, because I don't really know her, so I don't want to give her that sort of
But my point is, you don't need to give her anything. You can just, like I said, just act neutral in that situation. You can neither assume that that she would feel, violated by you watching, or should you assume that she wants you to watch. Just don't, deliberately stare. And just act normal, just be normal.
Well, yeah. Well, my alternative was just to step out of the situation. It's couldn't be fucked with it.
I would exploit the situation for maximum testosterone growth.
Are you there? Just stay right there until I finish my set, because man, I'm feeling such a rush right now. My biceps, they're 200% capacity.
They're exploding, man.
All because of you.
Look how vascular I am.
Your colon is giving me strength I never knew I had.
It's like that. Oh my god, that one. What is it? Is that Oni cartoons? No, I think the YOLO. You know what I mean? The Australian guy. Do you know what YouTube cartoon I'm talking about? The guy who makes the animations. He did a Rick and Morty parody and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a guy, or back in 2014, 15 something. He did a really good video series that's called YOLO, back when the YOLO term was popular.
Yeah.
And there's this Australian jock guy in the club seeing these two women dancing, having a good time, and he's staring over, just telling his mates, hey guys, you see those girls over there? And the best thing is that one of his mates is a rat, a full anthropomorphized rat person, and the rat person is yeah, I see him. And he's well, I'm gonna go fuck him. And he's yeah, go fuck him. And that just that little sentence right there is such a good I don't know, summary of the guy mentality on testosterone. It's just there's nothing in between. He's no. You see those girls over there? I'm gonna go fuck them.
And there's no consideration about the possibilities of that outcome or nothing. It's just that's what I'm gonna do.
And he walks over to them and he's which one of you girls want to get fucked?
Jesus Christ.
And the one girl is yeah, you gotta fuck me. Yeah, come on, daddy. I mean, I guess the meaning of it all is just to depict the human depravity and what kind of state the society is in. But yeah, it's just so fucking funny, that one. the right guy just saying, yeah, go fuck him. I fucking love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially gym brain put on fleek. It's just like exposed and it's just simplified down to the like the simplest, most pure form.
The distilled like essence of it all. Oh, it's beautiful, quite beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the thing is, I never really thought of the gym as a place to,
to check women.
To try and pick up women.
Me neither. I totally agree. I feel it's the worst place to kind of meet women. I mean, and also like you should be there to work and or just like you're there for a purpose, which is like you're there to put in a workout, and then it's fine to socialize while you're doing it and all that stuff. I mean, we can go on for tons about our ideals of what gym etiquette should be. but I mean, I never socialized at the gym. I never talked to anybody if I can like avoid it. I've worked out now at my local gym for like 4 years. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody in 4 years. Yeah, that's how Norwegian I am.
I mean, the thing, you're almost Finnish at this point. Sorry.
You get an achievement unlock. You see, like in your vision, you see the pop up coming from the top portion of your vision. It says like achievement unlock. You've become Finnish. Stay out of conversations for 5,000 hours in a row.
Exactly. Sorry, Nick, if you're listening to this. I know you're the exception to the rule. But anyway, I don't know where I was actually going with this. I don't remember where we came from with all this, but
where
like
we started.
Yeah, I think just
that was basically it was Chris Chan. It was isolation, sexual drive.
All right.
So,
and then just all the way full balls deep into chimp brain, monkey brain hierarchy.
So, are we going to talk about we were going to talk about the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, like, what's our timing right now? Do you know?
We have been going for 45 minutes, or 42 minutes to be precise. So
okay, I mean, we can talk a little bit. We can talk just like quickly about some of the stuff we're excited about here, because I thought that this was one of the best showcases we've seen in years, or at least since the pandemic started.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of heavy hitters here.
Yeah.
Like really AAA, high polished titles, and let's just jump into the first one. It was God of War Ragnarok.
Oh fuck yeah!
Which, like, whoa. as if God of War wasn't good enough already. This trailer just, it's so much hype in it.
And you can tell that they put the money in the right places as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is a
absolutely
very cinematic game. And it's also a follow-up to, I mean, 2018's God of War is probably one of those games I feel that everybody that even dabbles in games, just even a little bit, you should try this game at least once, or at least see someone play it, because it's such an experience. It's such a great game all around.
Yeah. And it's such a good feeling when a AAA title like that really hits, like what I like to call gaming as an art form.
Yeah.
It really just hits on all fronts, and it's different enough to like separate itself, but it also has like core mechanics that are, tried and true and very well polished. So it kind of, like you said, it appeals to the everyday gamer, and it appeals to the like hardcore, very aficionado, like connoisseur gamer.
Yeah,
which is good.
And exactly. This is fine wine. This is like fine dining. This is the foodie stuff. The gourmet shit. This is where you see the difference between, or like, this is like, all right, this is some of the best that gaming as a platform can deliver, and I mean, story, gameplay, and graphically, it's delivering on all fronts without being like, some games are very too much focus on graphics, and too much focus on like the hype around a certain aspect of the game. But this just delivers on
all fronts. If you like this type of game, of course, but
sure.
But I mean, yeah. And Ragnarok seems to just deliver, or we don't know yet, but like the trailer seems to show that they know what they're doing. They're not changing it up too much, but they're continuing the story, polishing stuff, you know, giving you more of what you want, but also a little bit of uniqueness dabbled in there.
Yeah. And for, I mean, looking at the trailer here, did you, by the way, see the full reveal of Thor? What he's gonna look like in the game?
Yeah. Fat Thor.
Yeah, he's a chonkers. Sorry. He's a chunky boy.
Oh, sorry. COVID.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a chunky boy. But I necessarily don't think that that's a bad thing.
No.
I think that he could be even more, especially in, like, dynamically in a fight. Just imagine, like, his momentum, his weighty feel, you know, how powerful he is. I think that that can actually be like a positive, that he's not like some super shredded, like Greek god style of god, you know.
But that was the thing I read as well, because I also, when I try to remember the stories, or like the you know, from the Edda and stuff that we
yeah,
during
source material.
Yeah, the actual source material for the, or like, well, the closest thing we get to that we heard during, you know, school and all these kind of things. Thor was never like a buff guy. He was fucking strong, but he was always chonkers. Yeah. He was fond of like drinking and eating tons, and he was like a feaster, you know, fight all day and then drink all night.
Right, yeah. It's like typical for the ancient kind of, we have like a lot of gods, you know, they're more human, like the gods are more flawed.
Very
flawed. Thor is definitely flawed. Thor definitely has aspects of human, you know, both positive and negative sides. That's kind of what makes the gods of Norse and Greek mythology interesting, that they're so flawed, you know.
And the thing is, apparently that depiction is very lore accurate.
It's gonna be it's one of the absolute top contenders for most anticipated game of 2022.
Oh yeah, it's up there. I think it's gonna. That one and Elden Ring, those two.
Yeah, of course, Elden Ring is like nothing can top Elden Ring for me, at least.
Same here. Elden Ring is the definite like favorite contender.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we all gonna have to bombard Dank Ant's house to watch him play God of War.
Yeah. We have to strap him to a chair and like
play this fucking game.
You know. But yeah, God of War. So Thor design excellent. Everything looked excellent. we don't like usual. We kind of tend to gush over what we do like and not being able to criticize it, but this just looks really hype.
Yeah, I couldn't really find anything that stood out to me as, wow, this looks, I have a pet peeve with this, or I couldn't really find anything like that in this trailer. But there are some other things with some of the later games that I promise I won't be
too pleased with. Yeah, well, I think I know what games those are, but let's move on to Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Wait, before we go, are we gonna do all of the games or just the ones that we thought stood out?
I don't know, man. It's
want to do just the ones that stood out?
Yeah, let's do like the large, huge ones.
Yeah, all right. Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man, it's gonna be another Spider-Man game on the PS5 exclusive. At least for now.
Hopefully, just for now.
Yeah.
But good for you, PlayStation.
It is. I don't know what it's. I haven't been following. Like it's like far from home because there are two Spider-Men. It's Miles Morales and Peter or whatever. In this trailer.
Yeah, I mean,
am I right here? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the follow-up to the Miles Morales expansion that came to the previous Spider-Man game, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and this is just following that, and now Miles Morales looks to be just a stable, playable Spider-Man.
Yeah, so now he's like a regular customer,
which is great, and
which is cool, and I love that diversifying that is, you know, giving the player a lot more flexibility and play style, probably play style freedom.
it's different since Miles can do. He can pop invisibility. He has the electrical charge ones, and you know it's different.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, they look like they added the Iron Spider suit, which is always hype. And the most hype, I think, for most fans were the fact that Venom just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is always cool, and I think that's what most people said after they played the first game. Was like, well, this game is cool. Can't wait for Venom to show up, or Carnage, or whatever. Of course, he was going to show up. But did you catch the voiceover?
Well, I didn't catch what you apparently caught, so I was just like, yeah, it's a guy.
Well, yeah, but the guy is most likely Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Kraven the Hunter is like a fucking unit of a guy that just prides himself on just hunting the toughest adversary, or like the toughest. He's kind of like a predator in human form. You know, he just like loves the thrill of the hunt and wants to just be able to beat the strongest adversaries. And and there are like at least one, or probably several. I'm not a huge comic book buff, but there's at least one where he beats Spider-Man.
I think
he just destroys him mentally as well.
Right. I think I've kind of come across him in like some lore breakdown on YouTube somewhere of the Marvel universe. Yeah, it's he seems like a really cool character.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with him in this, because he's just such a unit of a guy. And then if you have like Venom, Miles, and Spider-Man fighting like each other and him, this is. I mean, I'm very excited about this. There's so many possibilities. I love the way they're expanding upon it. You know.
Yeah. And the recent Spider-Man games have been really good, right? So that's like, it seems that they're continuing on a good trend here, or building on a good foundation. I
think we can safely assume that it's in good hands, because the 2019 Spider-Man was, in my opinion, very, very good. And you know, you got to fight Kingpin in it. Our good boy, the favorite.
The fucking tombstone of villains.
You know how he turned out that way? Obviously, he's essentially me if I didn't move away from the ass girl in the gym.
Yeah.
If I just stood there and stared.
Stuck in an infinite loop of working out and staring at ass.
Yeah, then my testosterone would have just like blown me into Kingpin.
The best image ever on the internet is like Kingpin sitting beside his family, and his head is like 70% like down in the middle of his body. It's like so low on his body. It's not that it doesn't have a neck. He has negative neck. His head is positioned at his abdomen, basically, and his family is like 10% of him.
Yeah,
like volume wise.
His poor wife, man.
Yeah. Imagine, like, you think Dr. Eggman or Robotnik is bad? Imagine Tombstone.
Fucking Kingpin in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Christ almighty. Yeah, his wife is the real MVP here. She's a champion.
Yeah. She is a champion.
But, yeah, so the next game... Oh, they also announced something that actually gave me goosebumps. And that was Wolverine. Insomniac, the same people, are making a Wolverine game that's got to be a cinematic and very emotional story.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
It's perfect.
Did you ever play the? I mean, everybody knows that the X-Men Origins Wolverine game is the movie is absolute garbage. But did you ever play the game?
No.
The game is actually a rare case where a movie adaptation game is better than the movie.
Oh.
Because the movie's dog shit, and of course it's not a high bar to set, but the game was actually a very solid, gory, fun action platformer where, you know, they had all kinds of like cool shit, like how when you have a regenerating health system, but then you actually can tell how much damage you have taken by Wolverine's body literally becoming more and more just like torn to shreds, and then he actually regenerates his body as he regenerates his health as well. Like this is really cool mechanic. So that's your health bar is literally how torn to shreds his body is, and it was just a lot of cool things with that game. It's worth checking out. So just imagine...
that sounds like a cool mechanic. I mean, it's this game is carries a lot of promise. Insomniac, good developer. But yeah, we'll follow this one. It's probably like a must buy for you, right?
Well, I don't have a PlayStation 5, so
no.
I'll have to wait and see.
But is it exclusive?
Yeah, at least for now. But my thoughts were that Sony owns the Spider-Man rights, so that's why I thought, like, all right, so Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man could be an exclusive, but Wolverine is different. So, and since they also announced that they're gonna port Uncharted 4 to PC and stuff, maybe in the not too far future, Wolverine is gonna come to PC as well.
Yeah, I think that's like my feeling from this. I don't think that this is an forever exclusive. But moving on to like Gran Turismo. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with that car games.
Not a lot, but
looks sick though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not a car guy, but the just the graphics and the trailer did a good job. They were it looked cool. Really awesome cars. The graphics were awesome. I don't know. They just showcased all the things that kind of that makes car games seem cool to someone like me who don't play car games. I'm a car guy, absolutely, but I don't like car games as much. Okay.
And that comes down to I like the kind of RPG progression style with the car games, and a lot of car games are more simulation like Gran Turismo is, and you have like a lot of emphasis on just I don't know, just the unlocking system and the progression is not gamey enough for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I fucking loved the hell out of Need for Speed Most Wanted, the original, which is my favorite car game ever, and that has that really like elaborate progression style where you really feel that you own the car, and it's that car that you're driving. You tune that car to be in races.
Yeah,
it's not like you can just select a new car like on a whim, and like switch around, and it's very easy to customize. You need to feel that customization is an investment.
Yeah,
because then the car grow more attached to the car, and that's how I like it. I like to kind of own a car for a little bit of time and race with it and kind of fall in love with it, and then move up in the world. And also the fact that a super, I don't know, fucking super trimmed Supra shouldn't be able to beat like a mega modernized Porsche with the best fucking gearbox in the world and stuff like that. Of course in a straight line, but on a race track, no. And I like that, like, cars are objectively better than previous cars, and you kind of start on the street level with what you can afford, cheap race like cars, hot hatches and stuff like that, and just kind of iteratively build on them. And when you win enough money or whatever clout, you can buy more expensive, more sports like cars with even more potential. That's how I like my car games, and I don't know about you.
No, I agree. Because I didn't play Most Wanted that much, but I played Underground and Underground 2. And those games, especially the first one, I played the most. And for that game, I remember getting the Mazda MX-5 as one of the beginner cars. And I just kept upgrading the shit out of that car, and I stuck with
Yeah.
it the whole game. I don't know if that's like the right way to do it, but I did. And
No, but yeah.
But like, fuck, I made it look so cool in the end, though.
Yeah, and I think that feeling is like what I seek in car games. Just what you described there. You can kind of choose what you want to do. I mean, it's not like the best way to the optimal way to play, but you grow attached to that car, you know, and you trick it out, and you fucking love that car, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And yeah, just mastering the mechanics of that car as well. Yeah, to me, that's what a good car game is about.
Yeah, and I think, and also Forza Horizon has brought back some of the fun parts, or like the things I like about games. So I played Horizon 4 on Game Pass, and I like that quite a lot because you can also deck out the cars a lot there.
How is the progression in that game? What is like?
Well, there are a lot of cars, and you have mostly what you have to do is kind of get a car at least for each racing type. But in theory, if you get a decent car, like you start out with pretty much just, you know, pretty low tier cars. Some cool ones though, but low tier, and you have all kinds of classes, and you earn up money and reputation, and race. You know, you can just travel around overworld, you do events and things like that. But you can also like spec out your individual cars with both, you know, engine parts and tuning, and it's very complex. It can get very complex, at least for me, who's like not a car guy. But and then you can also upload your preset to the internet, and other people can, or like to the game server, and then other people can actually download your custom to the car and stuff like that as well. So
yeah, I mean, I think that my problem is that I just want to live the fantasy of being like a semi-criminal street racer, you know, and the feeling that you actually own the car that you're driving. I don't want to be a race driver, you know. I don't want to be Mark or like Valtteri Bottas, you know. I want to be just a dude with a car that drives from the police. That's what I want to do, you know.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, and I feel that only Need for Speed Most Wanted gave me that perfect balance. You know, just blast, and the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack is the fucking bomb.
Blinded in Chains by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you can get it on YouTube. I think there's like a mashup, or at least, I think you can get every track, you know, from Most Wanted, the original, and just download it and have it on your phone, and just take a ride in your car, blasting that shit. It's a perfect driving kind of soundtrack. Perfect.
I think it's also considered the best of an era for Need for Speed.
Yeah. I mean, Need for Speed has been very choppy since. I think that they had some like right ideas here and there. They also tried to remake Most Wanted, but that was not that game was not like the original.
No, it's not the same at all.
No, it's not the same. And I feel that that's like a really noob mistake to make when you have like a fucking banger like that, and all people wanted was just to get a graphical updates, you know, and some quality of life improvements. And you know, because they really love the fuck out of the old game, and to change up the formula, why? I mean, jeez,
yeah, if nothing else, just make a new game with a new story, but then make it in the same format.
Yeah, like the same rules. But to me, like I said, that would be perfect. But you can't ask that of a developer. They will never do like that. That's basically like hoping for the perfect remaster or remake of FF7. You know.
Yeah,
it's never going to be that, because that's like the utopian dream. Yeah, they're going to make Need for Speed Most Wanted, just better graphics, quality of life, and a new story. But the same gameplay elements, like updated modern cars, but
back in the day, that was what used to be sequels was exactly that.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, at least one time, you know, and often that limits itself because you iterate, and people get bored of like that format, and the game doesn't sell as well. And then you need to innovate, you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens with Call of Duty, because that's also essentially just same formula, but a new story, new weapons, new setting. And you know, now that Call of Duty Vanguard is coming out, I like World War II, and it's in the Modern Warfare engine, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna check this one out. But you know, Black Ops Cold War was very run of the mill.
Yeah.
And the games before Modern Warfare was felt like a reboot. It felt like, okay, this is a change.
Yeah.
But the older games before that, I mean, there's been ups and downs, you know. But there's for all the Black Ops 2s and 3s and Modern Warfare 2s and you know, there's also the Infinite Warfares, the Advanced Warfares, the World War II, you know, it's decent games, but it also very run of the mill, and it's too little innovation and too much like, you know, asset flip almost.
Yeah, and but in the modern world, that also becomes a problem because you can kind of, with enough marketing and enough new gamers growing up, you can kind of keep pushing that, you know.
Yeah.
Because usually, I feel that before it was like 3 sequels. And with small to little iteration, you know, and innovative design, it was just built a little bit upon the success of the first game, and then by sequel number 3 or the third game, it would be like, yeah, now it's getting boring.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sales would go down, and then they would just scrap that franchise, or at least put it on hibernation or do something else. But now, like, you have these, like you're saying, like Call of Duty, like massive chains of sequels that just really never innovate too much, which is kind of what the fans expect also, but you know, it's not always good.
Yeah, and speaking of remakes and stuff though, the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Yeah. Yeah, Knights of the Old. Okay, let's talk about that because that's a lot more important.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just wow. This is the favorite for me.
This is the favorite for me as well. Man.
Yeah, that's so good. I mean, we need good Star Wars news. There's been a lot of ups and downs with Star Wars lately.
Yeah.
In these last Disney years, but this is really, please. This is like, yeah, seeing an old friend for, you know, and you know how it is to like meet someone you haven't met for a long time, and then you just really hit it off like you did before.
Yeah.
You know, that warm fuzzy feeling. That's what, you know, we can expect here.
Just the voiceover from Bastila started off being like, I'm like, hey, I know that voice. It sounds pretty familiar. And of course, you know, and then they talk about the Sith. I think that close up of Darth Revan.
Oh yeah,
Revan,
that's
my
so
boy.
powerful.
Finally, I haven't seen you in years. Please violate me with your lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's such a fucking promising title. I mean, even it is a remake, so it's probably gonna have some differences.
Yeah.
But I feel that it needs to have, because the old mechanics 100% copied wouldn't cut it today.
No, it's there's too much jank.
Yeah, it's too much jank.
But yeah, I mean, you know, some modernizing and tweaks and make it a little bit more cinematic and stuff like this. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can put on there, but just keep the core intact. You know, the RPG systems and stuff, and it should be fun.
Yeah. I think, I hope that they have like the sense to do that. Like you're saying, like the core mechanics needs to be intact.
It seems that way from the interview. They said, like, you know, they want to. They're very particular about what they want to stay true to the original and what they want to expand upon.
Yeah, right.
And then, you know, my friend, she was like, "Oh man, I can't wait to sex Bastila in 4K." And I'm like, well, I can't say I disagree.
No. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite of the lineup for sure.
There's and maybe as the last one to mention, I want to talk a little bit about Forspoken.
Yeah. I was waiting for that.
Okay,
I was waiting for that.
that.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Yeah, Forspoken. Okay. So we did cover it a little bit, but like the short trailer. But this is a much more extensive look.
It is, yes. And okay, there's a lot to like about this. I mean, I'm gonna essentially just echo my sentiment from back then, but now it's more. Okay, so let's start with the good. Gameplay looks really cool. It looks like the world looks like it's at least the fantasy world looks really good, and the traversing and the movement, all that looks sick. And the graphics. So I can look past a lot due to the fact that how good the gameplay and the graphics are.
Yeah.
But man,
the acting or voice acting.
The voice acting.
It got me too.
The voice acting is one thing, but the lines as well.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. To be fair, it's not the voice acting per se.
Yeah.
It's just the lines, and of course, the actress has been given direction. So it's a little bit about the delivery, but that's influenced by how the creators want the delivery to be. Yeah. And it's very cringy to me, at least. Yeah, it's very cringy. It's like, remember back in the day, in like the younger years of YouTube, when like gamer girls were kind of pretending to be gamers. Remember that?
Yeah, before the real ones came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, before like the real gamer girls actually grew up and became gamer girls. It was like some girls just realized that there are just a lot of guys interested in girls playing games.
Yeah.
And I can remember like they tried so hard to convincingly be excited about like stuff in games, but you could totally hear that they were not into that at all. Like, oh, look at that huge explosion, that's so cool. You know what I'm talking about? Like that contrived or excitement about whatever kind of spell or maybe a character or something that if you were like growing up with Final Fantasy or something like that, you were like, it's Sephiroth. But Jesus Christ, even like the most nerdy gamer would not be that excited,
Yeah, it's kind of like,
and it's it's a bit like that. It's a little, What do you want to put in here?
No, I was just gonna say I have the very same problem with how there's this channel called Gameology, which has a lot of good stuff. Like, for example, experts reacts and these things. I love those series. But whenever they have gamer reacts, I feel like it's very, very cringe. It's always like gamers react to the death of blah 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 in game of blah blah blah, and then you see like they're like, oh no, hey, come on, don't do that, hey, no. No. It's
such a contrived reaction, and it's almost like an affront to I don't know, maybe like the general mass of people don't really kind of feel that grinds a little bit on the wrong side, but to me that's just it just takes me out of it. You feel that it's acting, basically, that's not a genuine I mean, the best thing about reactions is when you feel that it's a really genuine reaction, when you see people like Uzumaki Khan. Do you know that guy?
No.
Uzumaki Khan, he's basically the most nerdiest. Yeah, he's the nerdiest ever. Like, he's like a UK Pakistani type guy who's like the most weeaboo-ish, like nerdiest anime fan ever. And he basically records every single episode he watches and his reactions and stuff, but he has he's so fucking like emotionally invested in these shows, and
but if it's genuine, it becomes a more compelling watch. I guess that's why he's becoming famous, right?
That's why because his content is nothing but like emotional investment. So he's not interesting, he's not funny, or maybe a little bit funny, but it's almost at his own behest.
Yeah, but it's his passion that attracts.
It's his passion, and he's just so unapologetically nerdy and anime fanny that
good on him.
yeah. I mean, he makes money out of it.
And also, I mean, there's another example I was thinking about when it comes to genuine reaction, where Star Wars Theory.
No,
it's probably the biggest channel on YouTube that comes when it comes to, well, just theorizing about Star Wars and dealing with Star Wars news. And this guy is a huge Star Wars fan, and he knows a lot. And you'd love this guy because he does a killer Palpatine impression.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is, as soon as I saw the last episode, okay, spoilers for Mandalorian season 2, but I mean, who doesn't know at this point? But Luke Skywalker shows up, a young Luke Skywalker, or Jedi Master, like just post Fall of the Empire.
Just post. Yeah.
So in his prime, essentially, and he shows up and wrecks ass. And it's like a very great build-up because you see the X-Wing, the Soul X-Wing, just flying outside the window of the bridge of the ship. And the Luke Skywalker theme, I think it's the Luke Skywalker theme, plays in the background, starts playing. And I knew when I saw that scene that, like, all right, you know what? I want to watch Star Wars Theory's reaction to
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And his favorite character is Luke Skywalker because he inspired him when he grew up, and he has a lot of... the character means a lot to him. And when you saw that he started realizing who this was that came and like he legitimately started crying.
Yeah.
And I really felt it. I was like, yeah, man, this is so genuine, and it was kind of like wholesome to watch him seeing his childhood hero.
Yeah.
Just come back, and it like those kind of reactions.
They are pure gold. Yeah, I mean it's weird that we humans do enjoy like a genuine emotional reaction like that. I feel very attracted to those types of videos. I have like periods where you're more interested in reactions. You know what I mean? That you kind of seek out reactions to stuff, and I don't know what it is, but I totally get what you're saying there. That like really genuine, deep emotional reactions. But back to Forspoken, which was the kind of initial thing we were talking about. So I feel that some of the lines here are just so out of touch with what being like a gamer is. It's almost like your dad's vision of what gaming is, or your mother's interpretation,
or your school teacher that's not been in touch with games ever.
Right. So like it's almost like when your teacher has been watching and kind of researching gamers and then trying to like copy it and present it like this,
Yeah, but this is specifically for the story and the lines, though, not for the gameplay and graphics.
The gameplay and the graphics and like even the voice actress herself. It's not that the delivery is bad in any way. It's just that the lines themselves are just so. At least for the trailer, I mean, you can't really judge, but. The lines they've chosen here are so
it's so bad. You know what?
It's so disconnected.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that brought my hype a little bit down was when we saw the initial trailer as well, when it was established that this is in fact an isekai. Like it's basically someone from our world, I guess, just gets transported into a fantasy world. And that's like a huge trope in anime. And this is alright, so that can be done okay. But here's the thing. If I was to be transported, if I were to be hit by Truck-kun and killed and reincarnated with my current memories intact in an anime world or whatever fantasy world.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I would of course be struck with an insane amount of awe.
Yeah.
But if I just suddenly saw a dragon, I don't think my reaction would be anything other than absolute horror. The likes of the people seeing the T-Rex break out of the park in Jurassic Park for the first time. It's a fucking huge carnivore that can kill you by farting in your general direction, and your action is like, oh, is that a motherfucking dragon?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
and like,
fuck that.
yeah, right. And like when she does some kind of magic, or she says like, "Oh, did I just move that with my hands?" And it's so. I mean, it's such an ungenuine reaction. Your reaction would be to be speechless, or to be just like you experience something that you absolutely never experienced anything even on the scale of, so I don't think that you would be like, did I just do, oh my god, that's so cool, I can do magic now, it's like she's realizing that she just got $10,000 deposited to her bank account or something. It's I don't know, just
it's like, can't wait to show this to impress all my friends in high school.
And I mean, storytelling wise, do you need that internal monologue or monologue to the bracelet or whatever to kind of describe that emotion? Can't you just do that like with
Visual
some kind of visual storytelling? I feel it's much more appropriate for that kind of emotion.
Because not everything needs to be beaten over your head. It's like, I get it. But also, the feeling I got, because I this became a little bit of a worry for me when I heard that dragon comment in the first teaser.
Yeah, I remember you reacting to that.
And here it's just like, all right, to be fair, this might just be trailer voiceover. It might be that when we actually see the game play out, it might be very different. It might surprise us completely. I'm open-minded about this. I want this game to be good, and of course,
I'm hoping that what we're getting of lines here is just kind of condensed down to a very short segment of the game. And
just for the trailer.
Kind of just maybe just for the trailer, even that would be better. But if it is in the game, just have it like very early in a compact sequence and get it done with, so we can, because like you said, the gameplay looks amazing, and the premise of the game is a very cool premise, absolutely.
And I do think that the gameplay here is good enough that even if the entire story was like that, like a fucking cheap Netflix fantasy kind of story, because that's the vibes I got from this. But just the gameplay itself and the graphics, I'm sure would already make me kind of not care about the story. I'm pretty sure I could still enjoy the gameplay of this game because it looks that good. But the story is like, do you really, out of all the places you take inspiration from the story, are you sure that Netflix, those like pump and dump trashy fantasies that they do that always flop, like are those really the ones you want to emulate?
I completely agree. I mean, it's a little bit worrying, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, judgment is to be reserved.
I hope for the best. I'm still excited to see. I hope, like, if the gameplay feels as good as it looks, it's gonna be a great game regardless.
Yeah, and I really love that kind of naturalistic style of magic, where the water kind of gathers into a sphere of water around the enemy and stuff like that. That just looks really neat. I mean, if magic were to be real, I feel that it would look sort of like that. If we discovered that magic was real and it was like that, I would be like, that would be very nice. Like kind of semi in tune with physics and like the real world, the presentation of the real world at least. And not, for instance, something that I always a pet peeve of mine in a world where you're trying to sell magic and abilities, like real abilities, stuff where runes appear when you cast a spell, always takes me a little bit out of it. It's like, why would, in a natural kind of explanation of magic, why would runes kind of form around a magic spell? And like scripture, and that's something that humans invent, and unless humans have been involved in inventing the spell, and kind of realizing that this somehow potentiates it or something, like, it needs an explanation at least.
I think for my own case, if it's to the extent of what it is in Witcher, it's okay. That's not a big deal. Like it's fine. It's bearable. But
Yeah.
In anime, recently.
Yeah, like yeah, especially in anime,
Yeah.
it's just something about it. I mean, like you said, in games, you always have that. Like Witcher, for instance, is the game world is so vast and so deep. You can always just assume that it has some kind of function, you know. But there are just some, and some magic systems are like that. You know, it's magic kind of almost created by humans, you know, and researched in a way by the mages or the mage guild or whatever.
Yeah.
But some types of magics are kind of sold to you like they're a fifth force of nature almost.
Yeah.
And when you mix that with like like runes and stuff like that, you kind of feel that there's some kind of jarring inconsistency.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Me.
And in anime, this is taken to the umpteenth degree, because a lot of those fantasy anime I've seen lately have this issue where when they're gonna cast a spell, like this kind of giant animated pentagram or inscription sort of like thing appears, and it always spins, rotates, and then some kind of things comes from that. I'm like, no. And then you have stuff like there's a recent one called Mushoku Tensei, in which it looks way more natural, and the magic in that one looks sick. Like it's just what I wanted. Of course, it helps that the animation is very well done, but here you see that like there's no like it looks like they're just learning to harness a force of nature. Yeah,
I do like that. But so that concludes our delve into our very short coverage of the PlayStation Showcase for September.
Power.
Yeah, Monkey Brain Power. If you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe and like and bell icon and all that, and spread the word about the Humidus community, because that's our family,
Yeah.
We need you guys. We need you.
Just at least, if nothing else, give us feedback. We want to improve. We want to make this into like a nice product that actually can provide a little form of entertainment and some form of company in this lonely pandemic desolation time.
Yes, and remember to stay dank
and stay humid.
Goodbye.